The first thing I remember was the silence. Not the kind that exists in empty rooms, but a vast, cosmic silence, the kind that devours sound, swallowing it whole. I woke up inside a transparent pod, my reflection distorted against the curve of the glass. Lights pulsed outside, soft and blue, and something that looked suspiciously like liquid stars flowed through tubing above me. My breath fogged the glass. "Where am I?" I croaked. A voice answered from nowhere. "Human life signs stable. Stasis recovery complete. The Empress will be pleased." The pod hissed open. I stumbled out, knees shaking. I was wearing the tattered remains of my space suit, the one I'd been wearing when my ship, the Horizon, was struck by a debris storm near the rim of the Perseus expanse. That had been, a few hours ago? Days? Before I could gather my bearings, two towering figures entered the chamber. Their armor was made of an iridescent material that shifted like living flame. Their faces were hidden behind helms shaped like bird skulls. "Human male, you will come with us." I froze. "Wait, who are you? Where am I?" They didn't answer. One gestured sharply, and the other produced a glowing restraint field. It hummed around my wrists like cold fire. "By order of Her Radiance, Queen Melara of House Serenth," one of them declared, "you are to be brought before the throne of stars." I laughed nervously. "You've got the wrong guy. I'm a pilot, not a politician." The soldier turned his head slightly. "She says otherwise." They marched me down a corridor made of crystal and metal veins. Windows the size of buildings opened into the void, nebulae glowing like bruised galaxies beyond. The air hummed faintly, alive with static energy. Finally, we arrived at enormous doors shaped like folded wings. They parted with a hiss. Inside, a throne room stretched into infinity. The floor was liquid glass, reflecting constellations beneath our feet. At the far end, a single figure sat upon a throne carved from what looked like solid starlight. And she, the one they called Queen Melara, was unlike anything I had ever seen. Her skin shimmered like molten pearl, her hair flowed like silver flame, and her eyes were galaxies, swirling and deep, each iris holding constellations that seemed to move on their own. When she stood, the soldiers bowed instantly. I didn't know what to do, so I just froze. "Leave us," she commanded softly. The soldiers obeyed. The great doors sealed shut. Now it was just me and her. She walked toward me, every step echoing like a heartbeat through the chamber. Then she stopped just inches away. I felt the warmth of her presence, radiant, almost divine. When she spoke, her voice trembled. "After all this time, you've returned to me." I blinked. "Excuse me?" Her hand rose, trembling, as if afraid to touch me. "I thought you were dead, my love." Middle, the forgotten bond. I staggered backward. Wait. You think I'm your what? Husband." She smiled sadly. "Do not pretend. Even now, your energy sings to me. No other being in this universe could resonate so perfectly with mine." I shook my head. "Look, Your Majesty, Queen Melara, right? I'm Lieutenant David Cross of the United Earth Fleet. I've never been here before in my life." Her expression didn't change, but something flickered in her eyes, a deep ache. "You do not remember." "I know. I don't." She stepped closer. "Then I will remind you." She lifted a hand, and the air shimmered. A holographic wave surged through the chamber. Suddenly, I wasn't standing in a throne room anymore. I was on a cliff overlooking an alien sea of blue fire. 2 moons hung above, and standing beside me, in the vision, was her. Only, the version of me she showed wasn't me. Not exactly. He had my face, my voice, but his eyes glowed faintly, silver like hers. He wore alien armor, and in his hand, he held hers. "Do you remember?" she whispered. I reached out instinctively. The image flickered through my hand like smoke. "That's impossible." She turned to face me, her expression unreadable. "It was not impossible for us once. You came from the stars, wounded and broken. I saved you. I gave you life again. In time, you became one of us. You became mine." The words hit like a meteor. "You're saying I lived here? For 7 of your Earth years." Her voice trembled. "We wed beneath the twin moons of Serenth. You were the first human to stand beside an Aurelian queen as consort." I rubbed my temples. My heart pounded. The memories weren't there, but faint sensations were. The smell of ozone in alien rain. A soft laugh beneath silver skies. A voice calling my name, not David, but something else. "Darun." I whispered it aloud, without thinking. "Darun?" Her eyes widened. "You do remember." The throne room trembled faintly, reacting to her emotion. I backed away, hands shaking.
"No."
"No. That's just, you must have done something to me. Messed with my mind." She looked wounded. "You truly believe I would lie to you?" "I don't know what to believe," I shouted. "One minute I'm in a wrecked ship. The next I'm on some alien world, and you're telling me I'm your husband?" She lowered her gaze. "When the Rift Wars came, you chose to fight beside me. You sacrificed yourself to close the gate. Your body was never found, but your essence, your consciousness, was scattered across the stars. I searched for centuries." "Centuries?" She nodded. "For my kind, time is not as yours. But I felt you faintly, like a heartbeat in the void. And when your vessel entered our space, I knew." I didn't know whether to believe her or not. Everything in me screamed that this was madness, but another part of me, deep and quiet, whispered that it might be true. Because when she looked at me, I felt something that wasn't supposed to be there. The court and the test. The next day, I was brought before the imperial court. Dozens of Aurelian nobles gathered, all of them luminous beings wrapped in robes that shimmered like auroras. A man, tall, severe, stepped forward. "Your Majesty," he said, bowing, "forgive my candor, but this human cannot be your consort reborn. It is an affront to the sanctity of your throne." Melara turned her gaze on him. "You doubt me, Lord Vethar?" "I doubt this creature's claim to be Darun the Valiant," he said coldly. "Let him prove it." I frowned. "Prove it how?" "The bond trial," Vethar said. "If he truly is your husband, your energies will align. The throne will recognize him." I looked at Melara. "And if it doesn't?" Her voice was soft. "Then you will die." "Perfect," I muttered. They brought me to the center of the hall. A circular platform of light rose beneath my feet. Across from me, Melara stood with her hand extended. "The bond of the Aurelian is forged in resonance," she said quietly. "If our souls truly once intertwined, the throne will answer." I swallowed hard. "And if not, then it will consume you." "Great. No pressure." Her lips curved slightly, almost a smile. "You always were impossible." She placed her hand on my chest. Energy flared between us, a surge of white-blue light that burned like a living star. Pain shot through my body. I gasped. The chamber around us dissolved into pure radiance. Then, for a heartbeat, I saw her memories. We were standing on a battlefield of shattered worlds. The sky burned crimson. She was holding me, no, him, in her arms, blood streaking down his side. He looked up at her and whispered, "If I fall, promise me you'll find me again." Her tears had been silver. "I will find you, my heart." Across time, across death, I will find you. The vision shattered. I collapsed to my knees, gasping. When I looked up, the nobles were staring, and the throne behind us glowed like a second sun. It had accepted me. Vethar fell to his knees. By the stars. Malara's hand trembled as she reached down and helped me up. Welcome home, my husband. Ending the choice. In the days that followed, I learned more about the Aurelians, their empire, their dying sun, their endless search for new hope. And through it all, Malara remained close, patient, gentle. But though I had proven myself to them, I couldn't shake the conflict inside me. Why me? I asked her one night, as we stood beneath the twin moons. If I really died, if you really brought me back, am I even still the same person you loved? She turned to me, her silver hair glinting in the moonlight. Love is not bound by form or memory. You are him in essence, even if not in thought. But I'm also someone else now. I'm human. I have a family, a life back home. Her eyes dimmed. You could return if that is what you wish. The gate that brought you here still lingers, faint but stable. I will not hold you. I hesitated. And you? I will remain, she said softly, to rule as I must, alone again, if that is my destiny. I looked at her, at this woman who had crossed centuries to find me, and felt the pull in my chest again. Memories flickered like fading stars. Her laughter, the taste of rain on her skin, the promise beneath two moons. I took her hand. What if we start over? She blinked. Start over? I don't remember the man I was, but maybe I can get to know the woman who waited for him. For the first time, she smiled, a real smile, radiant and trembling. Then perhaps the stars have mercy after all. She leaned forward, resting her forehead against mine. Energy rippled between us, gentle this time, not pain, warmth, connection. And as the light of the twin moons bathed us, I realized something profound. Maybe I wasn't her husband reborn. Maybe I was something new, someone who carried his echoes but chose his own path. But one truth remained undeniable. When the universe gave me a second chance, it led me here, to her. And somehow, that felt exactly right.